Okay, next let's talk about how we coach our hostesses so that we can have the best parties possible. The first thing that I do is that I follow a checklist to make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. This is a list that you can find on the Top Banana site, and it just is a checklist of things to do before the class. I'm a little scatterbrained. This helps me stay on track a little bit better. And so you can just sort of walk down through the list and make sure that you haven't forgotten anything. The first thing is to give her a hostess packet. And if you had booked her at a party, you'll want to have those on hand so you can just hand them right to her. If you don't have them with you, it's okay. You can mail them to her. It's just a little more effective if you can hand it on the spot. Now I'll just show you what my hostess packet looks like. This is a Mary Kay product bag. They look a little bit different now. They're black, but this one is just one of our older designs. Those are very cheap, so that's why I use those. Inside of the bag, she'll find a letter. These got a little bit out of order as I had them sitting here on the table, but normally these are packed up very nicely and neat. And the first thing that she'll see when she opens it up is this form letter. And this has my business card stapled to the top because she's going to lose my number. It just happens. But at least with this packet, she knows where to go back and find it. And on the letter, it just simply says, I'm excited about getting together with you. Thanks for hosting a party. Some simple tips for the hostess. And then it just numbers 1 through 4. The first one is over-invite because usually half will come. And so more guests equals more sales, which means more free product for her. We always want to tell her what's in it for her. Number 2 is call me with your guest's names and numbers at least 3 days prior to your party. Because I want to call them and ask them some questions about their skin. Now here's a little side note. She probably won't call you 3 days before your party unless you're giving her some kind of an incentive to do it. Like, I'll give you a free eyeshadow if you call me and pre-profile. But I don't really do that just because I'll forget to give her the eyeshadow. Instead, I just make sure it's in my planner and in my phone to remind me to call her a couple days before the party and ask her for that list. The third thing it just says is for those friends that can't make it, show them the enclosed lookbook, and they might choose to place an outside order. Outside orders count toward her show's sales totals. And then number 4 is to review the enclosed brochure and read through the tips on having a successful party and start making your wish list. And then it has, again, my contact information at the bottom. You want her to be able to get in touch with you whenever she needs to. The 3 things that I referenced in there. This one is the lookbook. We always want to have at least one of these in there, if not 2, and that way she can pass them around to coworkers who maybe can't come to the party, but they might still want to get something. The outside orders, for you to be able to take those, you need some kind of either a sheet or sales slips. This one is available on the Top Banana site. It just says outside orders, and it has my information on here. This is in a Word document format, so you can even go on and edit these things yourself and put your information in there. And then it just has space for her to put in all the information that you need from that customer. You want her contact info, especially if she's going to order skincare or something, so that you can call and follow up with that outside order. Plus, these become leads for you after your party. You can call her, and if she loved her product, she might want to be sharing you with her friends. The other thing that I referenced in the letter is this hostess brochure. They look a little bit different now. Also, this is just one that I had left over from before they changed them. They look more like these party postcards. They have this scene on them, but regardless, whatever hostess packet or brochure you put in there is going to have pretty much the same information in it. It just covers tips on having a party, a little script for calling and inviting girls, and then it has a list for her guests and a space for her to make her wish list in here. So these are just a nice thing for them to have. Some personalities, they want more information, and so the more you can give her, the better. Other people will never read this, so I just always say to them, if there's anything in there you're not going to use, just give it back to me at the party. And then I ask her, did you use those things? If not, I can take them from you. I always put in here a little half sheet that's just a copy of my hostess program, and we'll talk about what some different options are that you can use for a hostess program. That just reminds her what she's working toward. Now she can see in black and white, what do I need to build to so that I know how much money I'm getting. Otherwise, she doesn't know what she's working toward. She's not going to work as hard for you. And then the final thing that I put in mine, well, almost the final thing, is party postcards. And a lot of women still like to mail invitations, or they hand them out to their friends that they work with or people they see all the time. I know personally from being invited to other parties in the past, like jewelry parties and things, I liked getting an invitation because it could go in my fridge and I wouldn't forget about the party, and I wouldn't have to call my friend to find out what time it was. It was right here on the card. So you can give these to her, and again, if she doesn't use them, just get them back from her. You can get those on section 2 I don't think they come in your starter kit. The Hostess brochures, though, you should get a packet of those in your starter kit. You can order more of them on Section 2. It's all very inexpensive, and I personally think that it's worth it. The final thing that I put in the packet is just a sample of some sort. This is a day and night solution. It's typically what I put in. I have my assistant make these up ahead of time, and so I don't really know to target exactly what that person wants, but most people will like a day and night solution. So I put that in there. Plus, if they bought a basic at the skincare class and you're booking them for their second facial, then chances are good they'll fall in love with that day and night solution. And I had a hostess who even said that at her party. She said, she put this day and night solution in there and I just love it, and so now I have to have it. So they just all slide right into this product bag. I tried to get it in there and it's too much to do at the moment, but it's just a very inexpensive way to package them up. Okay, so we asked her for her guest list and their names and numbers. And the reason we do that is to call them pre-profile. Couple reasons that we pre-profile. The first one is that it saves you a ton of time at the party. If people are all showing up at once, you can't ask all those questions. And then the second reason is if they end up having some kind of skin issues, whether it's an allergy to an ingredient, an eczema thing or rosacea, whatever that you might need to talk to somebody about before you know how to prepare, then you need to know that ahead of time. The third reason is that it builds credibility and it builds a relationship with you and that customer. So when you call her and you've talked to her, you're no longer just some Mary Kay lady. You have a name, you have a personality, you care about her and about her needs. And then the final reason is that it really helps your turnout rate go up. Whenever people, for one thing, they might have forgotten, and then secondly, now you're a real person and they realize, maybe I will come to this. It sounds like she's not pushy or she's not whatever. Helps to kind of dispel any kind of pre-existing thoughts they might have about you. So, whenever we call them, what do we ask? That's the question. There is a list of pre-profile questions, which you will find on the basic skincare class training online on the Top Banana site. So I'll just do a little mock call for you. Here's how I would call. I would say, phone's ringing, and I say, hi, is Susan there? Hi, Susan, this is Shanna with Mary Kay, and I'm hosting let me start over, sorry guys. Say, hi, this is Shanna with Mary Kay, and I'm doing the skincare class that Mary is hosting tomorrow night. I wanted to ask you some questions about your skin. Do you have a minute? And then she tells me if she's busy or not. If she's not, I say, great. First, have you used our products or been to any parties before? If she says no, I just trudge onward. And if she says yes, then I go on to ask her, great, what are you using? If she's using something currently, then I want to continue to delve in and find out what is her consultant's name, who is she, does she work with her all the time, to find out what that relationship is so that I make sure not to steal a customer. Sometimes they kind of wonder why you're asking all that. I just explain what our policy is and how we don't steal customers, and they always understand. So regardless, then you want to move forward because she's come to the party anyway. If she does have a consultant, you just tell her what our policy is and say, you're welcome to come to the party, come support your hostess, come have fun. Whatever you buy that night, I'll be happy to service you with that. But then after that, I won't keep you on file, and I'll just let you go back to your consultant so she can keep taking good care of you. And then the next thing that I ask her is, what do you currently use for skincare? Do you have any problems that I can help you with? Is your skin more oily or more dry? Have you ever had an allergic reaction to a skincare or cosmetic product? Do you have eczema or rosacea? Do you prefer mineral powder or liquid foundation? And then finally, do you have any questions for me? And at that point, she can ask you any questions, but once you've gotten those answers, usually that's going to go pretty smooth, and you're going to know now, is she normal to dry, is she combination to oily, is she young and wants to use Velocity? You can kind of ask those extra questions. Is she, if she's breakout prone, you might want to ask her if she wants to see some extra products on that. So just kind of work with her based on what her answers are. Now, the questions that you might have about specific skincare issues, you can either call medical relations at the Mary Kay corporate number, or you can call me and I can maybe answer them for you, or I can direct you to somebody who can answer them for you. So just make sure to do those things, and you're going to have a much better turnout at your party, and you'll have much happier customers, and you will feel much more confident going into those parties. So get out there and pre-profile. Good luck!